Hey folks, Mike Stein here with Betcha Outdoors. The purpose of today's episode is to show you what it looks like to be a fisherman who also works full-time. I'm a middle school teacher, and that means I'm at work Monday through Friday. And weekends are great, but it's also kind of nice to break up the work week and get outside and take in some fishing. So today we're heading to a lake. It's just a few miles from my house. We'll be heading there, and hopefully be able to get a few fish in the bucket this evening. We'll have about 2.5, maybe 3 hours of fishing time before dark. That's all the more we're going to be able to work out. So the main method of fishing today is going to be what's known as hole hopping. Hole hopping is probably a pretty generic term. I think it means something different to everybody who uses the term. So you're going to see kind of what our method looks like here at Betcha Outdoors, kind of how that process is done, and also we'll talk through a few of the essential supplies needed to be efficient at hole hopping. So stay tuned. Steps in this idea of hole hopping is finding a structure that you plan to work and then drilling a lot of holes. Save time by drilling right away, as primetime bite is on its way. We want to make sure we're fishing when the primetime bite hits instead of drilling holes. So, watch and learn. I have about probably 20 holes drilled. The Clam auger conversion kit is outstanding for that purpose. It gets a lot of holes drilled in a short amount of time. Next thing I'm going to do is grab my Vexilar and start checking holes. You'll see me moving around a lot, or I'm probably not going to stop and fish unless I see fish right now. So I'll make sure I have a rod rigged up and ready, and we'll be off and running. So I know I'm in the right spot, my depth is right, what my map showed on my way out here. So now what I'm going to do is tip my jig with some plastics. I'm going to tip my jig with some Euro larvae. Euros are probably my favorite live bait option. If you hook them right, they actually will continue to wiggle right on the jig, which is something that you really can't simulate on your own. So we see them kind of a wad there. 2 or 3 usually will get the job done. You can see it wiggling just a little bit. That's that irresistible fish action. Accompany that with the Clam Ice Spooler Elite. Actually, this is their 100. I can put those two together so you can actually have the jig sit still. It's awesome. It'll be outstanding fishing. There it is, second one iced, You've seen the method kind of in action here, bouncing from hole to hole, not spending a ton of time. This is a little bit different today. I've been marking fish in basically every hole. They're very finicky. It's taken a long time to find these active fish, but once you find them, you want to try to stay on them. So keep moving, don't give up, stay with the fish. If they stop showing up in the hole, move to the next one. That's this whole concept of hole hopping. Last fish absolutely hammered it. So we'll try to get you a little closer here to the action. See if we can't make another one do the same. It's looking good. Just missed it. I think we're without bait right now. Yep, as predicted. So the fish seem on the move right now. We're able to pick up 1, 2, 3, here's 4. It's kind of been on this line here, all working that same 14 to 15 feet. So we're going to hopefully stay on them here. We're still seeing fish on the screen in this hole. It's definitely changed the pace a little bit. They're not as active as those first few biters that came through. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're dealing with something other than a crappie. Could be a finicky bluegill, might be perch or something like that. But hopefully what we find here is another group of those active crappies. You can't make that up. Another gorgeous eater. So I would like to get a feel for the size I'm fishing. We're definitely hitting the same year class here. All of them seem to be about the same, and we have a beautiful 10-inch size. So right now we're sitting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3 to go. We've reached our limit for the day. At that point, I'm pretty much thinking about packing it up and heading home. I got work again in the morning, a few other things that I'd like to get done today, so we'll see if we can fill this limit out. That was a real light thump. You probably couldn't see it, but I could feel it. I got just nabbed at. And with all that excess, all that Euro larva on there, it's possible that he's just taking a stab at some of that meat. Oh, there's a treat. Gorgeous, gorgeous gill. That was definitely acting a little different. Same as before, as I was kind of saying, a little more finicky. Wasn't rising quite as quick. That's a beautiful 8.5. Beautiful 8.5-inch gill. A lot of fun. Right hand's getting a little cold. I think it's about 18 degrees today, which is not bad. Gorgeous Gorgeous fish. And they're still coming in and out of the screen. So when you're hole hopping, this is what you're looking for. You can see on the Vexilar screen there that we have fish suspended. When we say suspended, what we're looking for is separation from the fish and the bottom. The bottom is up there at 14 feet. And up above that you see I have fish in the water. Now hopefully if they're active, you'll see them rise up to the bait and take it. So what we've done, we turn those red lines into dinner time. We're looking for that active 10th fish. And we got her. Number 10. So at this point we've filled our crappie limit. We got 3 beautiful gills that are coming home as well. Still fish on the screen, so the rest of this will just be catch and release. But it's been an absolutely awesome outing. Alright folks, there you have it. We have an evening outing that was just under, well, let's say just over 2 hours of fishing. We started just at that 4 o'clock hour and it's about 6:20 now as we're making our way home, all loaded up. We finished with 10 crappies, 3 gills, which makes for a great mess. It'll be a great meal here coming up in the next couple of nights. And all in all, some great fishing. Hopefully you picked up a couple tips along the way. I can't stress enough how important it is to drill those holes first, kind of find that piece of structure you're planning on working and get all the holes drilled, and then just staying mobile, continuing to move from hole to hole until you can find those active fish. A lot of guys will get stuck trying to work those stubborn fish around. When you only got a couple hours to do it, you're better off moving and finding the hungry fish, finding those that are feeding. And that's what we did tonight. We were able to ice, I said 13 fish, and we're in a great spot.